In Untold History, we continue to unravel the origin of the Holy Roman Empire. After the death of Charles the Great, Europe fragmented into a mosaic of kingdoms. But in the 10th century, Otto I, king of the Saxons, emerged as a decisive leader. In 962, he was crowned in Rome, cementing the imperial title and officially shaping the Holy Roman Empire. In this chapter, we will explore how Otto transformed chaos into order, strengthening the alliance between the throne and the church, and establishing a model of power that would influence Europe for centuries. Was this coronation a continuation of Charles the Great or the beginning of something new? Find out as we analyze the birth of the empire that would mark medieval history. With the passing of the centuries after the death of Charles the Great, the European landscape was profoundly transformed. The kingdoms that emerged from the Treaty of Verdun in 843 fragmented. Attacks by Vikings, Magyars, and Saracens tested the stability of Europe, and imperial authority was diluted. In this context of chaos and reconfiguration of power, a figure destined to restore the imperial dream would emerge: Otto I, also known as Otto the Great. Otto I was born in 912, the son of Henry the Bird, Duke of Saxony and King of Germany. Henry had laid the foundations for a more stable kingdom by uniting the Germanic duchies under his rule, but it would be his son Otto who would transform this unity into an imperial power. When Otto ascended the throne in 936, Germany was composed of a confederation of semi-independent duchies: Saxony, Bavaria, Swabia, Franconia, and Lorraine. Each had its own traditions and structures, and internal conflicts were frequent. However, Otto had the political and military skill to consolidate his authority over these territories. Otto's coronation ceremony in Aachen, which had been the capital of Charles the Great, symbolized his aspiration to restore imperial greatness. However, his reign faced numerous challenges. The rebellions of the dukes, conflicts with the Magyars, and tensions with the church marked the first years of his rule. One of the defining moments in Otto's reign was the Battle of Lefeld in 955. The Magyars, a nomadic people who had terrorized Europe with their raids, launched a major invasion into the heart of Germany. Otto gathered his forces and led a coalition of Germanic armies against the invaders. The victory at Lechfeld not only put an end to the Magyar threat, but also cemented Otto's prestige as the protector of Christendom. Following this victory, Otto focused on strengthening the relationship between secular and spiritual power. During his reign, he promoted church reform and placed bishops and abbots in key positions of power. This strategy allowed him not only to consolidate his authority, but also to ensure that the clergy were an ally rather than a source of opposition. The high point of Otto's reign came in 962. In that year, he traveled to Rome to help Pope John XII, who was facing a critical situation due to threats from Italian nobles. In gratitude, the Pope crowned Otto as Emperor of the Romans on February 2nd. This event marked the official birth of the Holy Roman Empire and symbolized the continuity, albeit transformed, of the imperial ideal that had begun with Charles the Great. Otto's coronation established a model of relationship between the emperor and the pope that would be central to the history of the Holy Roman Empire. Although the pope granted divine legitimacy to the emperor, Otto's intervention in ecclesiastical affairs also made it clear that secular power could significantly influence the church. Otto spent the last years of his reign consolidating control over Italy and strengthening the empire's borders. In 972, he arranged the marriage of his son, Otto II, to the Byzantine princess Theophano, thus uniting the West and East in a symbolic gesture of Christian unity. The figure of Theophano deserves a special mention. Coming from the sophisticated Byzantine court, he introduced traditions, knowledge, and customs to the Holy Roman Empire that enriched Germanic culture. Its influence would be felt for generations, consolidating a cultural bridge between Byzantium and the West. When Otto I died in 973, he left behind an empire that, while not without its challenges, had regained the prestige and stability that had seemed lost since the time of Charles the Great. The Holy Roman Empire had been born as an institution that would combine Roman, Germanic, and Christian elements in a unique blend, and its impact would be felt for centuries to come. Otto I's legacy went far beyond his conquests and reforms. His reign cemented the idea of a Christian emperor as protector of the Church and defender of Western Europe. This model, although continuously challenged, would be the central axis of the identity of the Holy Roman Empire for the following centuries. However, the Holy Roman Empire was not built without conflicts and contradictions. The tension between the secular power of the emperor and the spiritual authority of the pope would mark its future history. Otto had laid the groundwork for a delicate balance, but struggles for control and influence between these two powers would soon emerge. In administrative terms, Otto reorganized the duchiate system, reducing the autonomy of the local lords and strengthening the role of imperial officials. This centralization was key to guaranteeing the cohesion of the empire, but it also generated resistance that would lead to internal conflicts in the following centuries. Otto also promoted a policy of eastward expansion, encouraging the Christianization of the Slavic peoples and the colonization of new lands. This process, though slow, expanded the influence of the Holy Roman Empire and consolidated its position as a bastion of Christendom in Europe. Otto's vision was not limited to the present. Their goal was to build a lasting legacy. By combining Roman, Germanic, and Christian traditions, he created an imperial identity that aspired to be universal. This cultural and political synthesis would be one of the distinctive characteristics of the Holy Roman Empire throughout its history. In this chapter of untold history, we have witnessed how a visionary leader managed to transform a fragmented kingdom into an empire that aspired to the greatness of Rome. Join us for the next few episodes as we explore the struggles, triumphs, and conflicts that shaped the fate of the Holy Roman Empire.